Thanks, Emily. Couldn't agree more. There's so much opportunity here, and it's really why we wanted to start this discussion. So when you think about, I want to talk a bit about, why does it matter, and what are the uses, and how can this be valuable to your organization? So when you think about it, there's a ton of value, whether it be from an HR, a marketing standpoint, a sales standpoint, in using a tool that really empowers your employees to start telling your story. From a marketing standpoint, it's getting new product news out. From a sales standpoint, it could be sharing special offers. But what we really want to focus today is thinking, specifically, what are the use cases from an HR standpoint, and what are the benefits there? And I think this chart does a great job of illustrating some of the, the more obvious reasons. One is empowering your employees to share job opportunities. You can potentially get a huge boost in your ERP program of encouraging your employees to share that information externally, making consulting opportunities available, rewarding and recognizing employees publicly as well. Some huge benefits to doing that. But I also think what aren't listed here are, some less obvious reasons, but that are equally important, and it's really the effect that pushing out quality content and authentic stories and insights about your culture can have on, sharing your employer brand. When you really look at why people are choosing careers today, it's so much more than, the standard, that company is stable, it offers solid pay, it looks like an okay place to work, I'm going to apply. People are really much more complex in what they're looking for in an organization, and they're looking for purpose, they're looking for reason, they're looking to feel a part of something larger. They're also, wanting to enjoy the work that they do and feel that what they do matters. And what you're able to do with a program like this is you can potentially push out stories in a way where you can say that all you want from an employer brand standpoint, but if it's coming from the company themselves, it often appears and comes across as marketing. So what this enables you to do is really package an incredible story, but tell it at a local level. So some tremendous opportunity there. In moving forward one slide and thinking about not only how it benefits the organization, but when you really think about it, who doesn't want to be thought of as interesting or smart? So if it's done right and you're developing some really powerful content, ultimately your own employees benefit from sharing this. So it's important not just to push out, self-serving, content such as, we're hiring for these positions, but also to make it much more engaging, make it thought-provoking, and employees will absolutely share that. And it's really interesting when we look at the overlap in networks, it's less than you think. So if you have, 1,000 employees, of course there will be some overlap and similar contacts, similar friends, but ultimately, it's a pretty significant independent community that each employee has. So what we find is by pushing out this content, employees, don't feel like they're, simply being a tool to push out a company message. It actually benefits their own personal employee brand as well, which I think is a really important distinction, because if it's done right from a content strategy standpoint, incredible benefit not only to the company, but also to employees themselves. And that's where you'll really see the traction of adopting this type of an idea, which Kai will get to in a little bit. Also, when you think about as powerful as this is, only roughly 1/3 of employers are encouraging social advocacy, and there's a ton of reasons why. But what we really want to do is just kind of start that discussion today and arm you with some information that you can start thinking about that internally. And there's a lot of reasons why potentially maybe that a company isn't sure where to start. It just seems overwhelming to them. They potentially think it's, I don't have the resources to manage a program like this, or potentially they're scared of, losing control or giving up control of the message. And we'll talk a bit in more detail. I think when you develop a well thought out program, you absolutely can maintain that level of control. And it's also, I think a large percentage of employers don't recognize the potential that these programs can have.